All right. Get this thing started. Move the camera over a bit. There we go. Okay, that is a fair bit better. Loading up. Here we go. We're good. What's up, everybody? Hope you are all doing well. Skip the opening. We're jumping back into things. Have a good time. Lark will be joining us in just a minute. How am I doing? I'm fine. My first day off in a little while, and I spent most of it just playing Withering Waves and writing. That's kind of been all I've done. I already had that. I don't know why you're telling me that now. I don't know why you're telling me that now. Thank you. I've had that for a while. It waited until an interesting moment to tell me. Oh yeah, but the Berserker Hero Fest. I knew about that. I knew about that. I saw the execution. I saw it. And for y'all's benefit, we'll take a look at it too. Just so that y'all know my thoughts. Alright, let's see this new execution can opener.
That's not a can.
Yeah, well, I mean, they call Knights tin cans.
We are not toasters, we are Skatari.
This is correct. So, yeah, I'll do my full grading on it later, but... I mean, definitely lethal because it's a beheading, so that's a 4 for lethality. For realism, I might actually give that a 3. Because here's the thing. Assuming that the blades are extra sharp, I think you could do that cut around. Taking the head off, we have to assume that the blade goes clean through the vertebra and sends that head flying. Given that she's already cutting around the head, she's already weakening the neck muscles for the cut, so it's a little bit more believable. But I still question it a little, so I'm going to give that a 3. For efficiency, 4. I mean, you know, it's quick, it's effective, and it was good to, you know, cut around the head to set up for that, so there's that. For cool factor, I'm going to give that a 3 too, because while it is cool and it's very creative, it doesn't really fit Berserker's style, does it? Berserker's more of this wild berserker, like a crazy... wild-wielding warrior who just slams her axes into the enemy. This feels almost too efficient for what you would expect a berserker to do, so I'm not sure it fits her personality entirely, but again, I'll do the full grading later. But anyway, that's my thoughts on that. Oh, I haven't even bought it yet, have I? Let's go ahead and get it. Because it's honestly one that I could get. It's honestly one that I could see myself getting. Sometimes I don't get new executions. Like, for example, I did not get Watch This. Wait, no, not Watch This. Sorry, what was it? I did not... Here it is, Split Knot. I did not get this one. And I did not get Double Your Effort. Like, there's just some that I'm not interested in. Some just do not interest me. But anyway, Lark, glad you could join us today. Did you notice the thumbnail?
I did not notice the thumbnail.
The thumbnail had a much more serious image of my chibi, not the
Serious chibi?
Yeah, not the chibi version that Hannah usually does. The a much more serious version, a more like the kind you'd see in like an actual TV show about the OC, Raven Lord. Take a look at it. I'd love your thoughts. What are my orders? I got to do some duel matches and breach at some point. We can do some duel. That's fine. Will the head really come off like that? Not usually. I would still question it. But yeah, I like that. I like that. You know what's really sad? We did those videos about the Raven Lord and his lore, and they just didn't get any attention. That's
I need to expand on my lore more.
We need to talk more about that, genuinely. We need to talk more about that. Anyway, since I don't have a specific faction to play, let's start with Arakure, and we'll go from there.
Hey, it's all.
But yeah, it's I really do like one thing that I really want to expand on is the Atago's Eye. I want to expand on like the things it can do and its clear strengths and weaknesses.
Yeah, I made a minor version as a mechanic in D&D.
I remember that, and you also added into your homebrew spell stuff.
Yeah, literally, if you can find my D&D Beyond account. It's one of the things I've made. That's one of the things I actually made on D&D Beyond. I think it was like 4 or 5 things I made.
Hold on. Got him. The landlord is you if you were in a manga or anime. Well, no, what I was doing was we wanted to yeah, good fight, man. What I wanted to do was create a lore around my OC. I wanted to create a character and build a whole kind of Tolkien-esque lore around them. And so we made a Raven Lord. We made a Lark. He's not a Legate. He's more of like an alchemist, engineer kind of thing.
He's called the Lark Lord rather than...
Yeah, the Lark Lord, yeah. Do you want to... You want to come around here? Or what do you want to do, buddy? We can fight on this side. Crap. That was my fault.
Yeah, what let me access stuff.
But yeah, we wanted to create this whole lore around the Raven Lord and what he's all about, and so we made an origin story of how the world that he inhabits was made. We made how the races were created, like the different races, like centaurs, lizardmen, elves, dwarves, halflings, orcs, all that kind of stuff. We ended up... What is this guy doing? That was fun. Anyway, what's my favorite type of European armor? Knight armor. Usually of the French Gothic or Germanic period. I like Germanic knight armor. It looks really cool. But as I was saying, we were talking about the Ravenlord lore, and
Yep.
we wanted to create this idea that the creator God created this world with the intention of creating humanity. But he had these lesser deities beneath him that we called the Dayanan. And they were supposed to be stewards of his creation, but a few got kind of uppity, wanted to challenge him for the right to create things, so they started creating their own shit. That's how they created the demons and the dark creatures. And this caused a war because they were outright defying Alanai, who was the creator god. And this caused a war. Now, while they were fighting their war, some of the other Dayanan who stayed in the Earth realm to kind of manage stuff got kind of like, okay, well, while he's gone, let's change some stuff. Let's do some stuff. Let's go random. Let's random it. Medjai. Medjai's not great in duels, but we'll try. Anyway, so they decided to start creating their own stuff. So we had one who created dragons, one who created centaurs, one who created elves, one who created dwarves. And they kind of tried to build these new races. So when Alanai comes back from his war, he's won and he sees what they've done. He's like, are you serious? And it caused this whole issue. Let's get back to it. Oh, I thought I parried that.
You thought Psych Center?
Okay. There we go. So the Dianan that made their own stuff, some of them said, "No, Alanai, you're not messing with what I made," and so Alanai curses them. They're no longer one of his chosen races, and they become like the dark races, like your goblins and stuff. Then you have the other Dianan who go, "You know what? We are sorry. We did betray you, Alanai. We'll destroy our creation if you want." But Alanai says, "Because you apologized and showed fealty, I will bless them and make them one of my chosen races." And this is what happened with the elves, the dwarves, the dragons, stuff like that. Good move. God, I thought that he'd go for the guard break again.
Man.
I fell for it again. That was my fault. But, so this is kind of what creates the world. And for a long time, the worship of Alanai is kind of the mainstream thing. It's what everyone does. But the Dark Dianan, the one who betrayed Alanai and went against him, they try to lead their races to go against Alanai. This leads to a lot of problems within the world where there are all these different religions of different Dianan floating around until you have one prophet named Anders. And Anders begins telling the message of Alanai. And, oh, hold on. There we go. So Anders goes around and he starts trying to spread the message of Alanai, but it's not really working. No one's really listening until he comes to this minor warlord known as Severus Tigarea. And Tigarea is just a minor warlord. He doesn't have a lot to his name, but he listens to Anders and goes, "Well, I mean, tell you what, if you help lead me and my forces, I will allow, if I get anywhere with the things that I want to happen, I will make this religion you're preaching the law of the land," you know? And so he helps him, and through the blessing of Alanai, it works out. Hold on. Gotta lock in a little. Oh! Didn't see that coming. Plague be upon me. Anyway, so... Oh, I need to mute this. I didn't even mean to do that. Anyway, so... Victory. Yeah, I didn't even think about it. So... He becomes emperor of his own empire called the Tigerian Empire, which is awesome. And through Tigeria's influence, the worship of Alanai spreads largely throughout the land. But as time goes on, the descendants of Tigeria break off from each other. They start a civil war called the Tigerian Interregnum, where he has 3 descendants who all of them have different goals of what they want to do with the empire, and eventually it falls apart. Tigeria is no more, and the various minor kingdoms and lands around it kind of rush in to consume the scraps.
It's actually kind of interesting because there was a huge debacle with that.
Yeah.
Because that's actually where you get the Dark Elves from.
Yes.
So what happens is...
Yeah, tell you wrote this part. I like this part.
Yeah, because I am a co-writer.
Yeah.
So I'm going to come over here and stop what I'm doing because I really like this part. So you had the previous emperor, who was basically, think a communist sort of figure. He was a debauched little shit, and he fathered so many illegitimate children that it basically, as soon as he died, it guaranteed a succession crisis. And you had 3 potential candidates. One, who was kind of the oldest and the assumed, he wanted to make sure he got it, and so he actually started to court the demonic and Dark Dianan to double down on his chances. And of course, he was in the north, and of course this started to cause some problems, and he started to march down south to secure his claim. A lot of the priests of Anderism started to flee towards the second contender, who was stationed out near the mountains bordering Dwarven territory. And he welcomed them with open refuge if they would support his claim. They naturally said yes. And then another priest from a more neutral Dianan said, "Hey, listen, I can give you a quicker access to power than these guys. They're pretty stingy with it. You kill all of them, I will give you beasts beyond your wildest dreams to help you beat back the demons. He looks at the demons and says, you know, it sounds like a good deal. So he sacrifices all of the priests, minus one escaped, Saint Russ, he's important later. And so he flees south, the others are sacrificed, and so basically you have eldritch abominations fighting demons. Wild stuff. So St. Russ goes to the southern city of Cassalia, where Aurelia, who is kind of like the... No one kind of expected her to do it, but she does have a claim to the throne. She offers him aid and support, and she immediately says, you're now recognized as the actual official empress. And with that, the dwarves and the elves support her claim. And so humanity, humans, dwarves, and elves march against an army of humans and eldritch abominations, and humans and demons. Eventually, Aurelia, by the grace of the Almighty, eventually wins. They secure the capital, she's anointed empress, and things are going okay. But one of the generals, I believe, of the elven variety, I believe his name is Sarandal, he is going, now hold on a second. These humans just went through one hell of a war. They're weak right now. And they really kind of owe us. This should be our victory. And so what he does is he kills Aurelia only a few hours after her coronation to basically throw the entire realm of Tigeria into disarray. St. Russ is alerted about this. He comes in, seeing the elves, some of the elves, dancing in the bloodshed, laughing because they've increased their domain tenfold, and he curses them, saying, the sun will never greet you again, or your ill-gotten gains. And they become cursed that their skin burns to ash. And they become the first Dark Elves, and they have to flee Dark Tigeria to start seeking out crevices and areas in the dark where they're unaffected. Now, there were some elves that weren't clearly to that plan. They're the normal ones. But regardless of that, Tigeria is still thrown into chaos. And so the elves and the dwarves and other neighboring more savage human tribes take advantage of this, and this starts the interregnum period. So you went from 3 kingdoms to an interregnum.
Yep.
Now, with that, you also have a little bit of an interesting fact with the dwarves. You have the mountain dwarves of the east, but they are like, well, we didn't mean to do this, but we're going to take advantage of the situation. They start moving west to claim land. So disgusted by this, they are actually cursed themselves as the dragon Dionin, who remained loyal, orders his dragons to go and occupy their holds for not being content with their lot. And so now the mountain dwarves of the east are actually in exile because they abandoned their homes to try and take benefit of a bad situation. And that'll let you pick up from there.
One second, let me deal with this Shaolin. He's been kicking my butt this match.
Shaolin?
I got me.
Yeah, pretty good.
Yeah, he was good. He played really well. I'm not good at playing with or as Shugoki. But yeah, so what happens is years go by, centuries in fact go by, and things have changed. Most people don't even remember Tigeria even existed.
It's a distant memory. Think about how we talk about like Rome or Egypt.
Yeah, exactly. But now you have the small city within. Well, actually, before we can get to Edenvale, we need to go what downs in the south with the Osmod Sultanate.
Yeah. So in the continent down south, well, there's 2 continents down south. One is Lagostia, which is basically think Egypt / Ethiopia / like South African tribe.
Right, but there was this sultanate called the Osmod Sultanate, and they basically want to start expanding into Northern Territory, growing their influence, and they think the North is easy pickings. And among them, there was a singular man who basically helped change everything. And hold on, I need to look at my notes to remember his name because it's been a while since I even brought him up. Hold on, let me pick my character. Kinsei, all right. What was his? I need to look it up again. Hold on. I totally forgot it, and I shouldn't have.
I'm sure I have it in my Google Docs, too.
Yeah, I need to pull up my Google Docs, because I had a whole document on this. Hold on.
Round 1.
Okay, 1 second. Let me do this, and then I'll look into it. Oh, it's a Goki. Okay. See if you can find it, because I can't look right now. While we're thanking each other. Anyway, let me look it up. Okay, let me see. Daggeroth. It was Daggeroth, the Dark Harbinger. Daggeroth. That was it. God, I can't believe I forgot that. Okay, chat me up, bro.
Victory.
Anyway, as I was saying, so Daggeroth was this guy who basically he wanted power. His story is full of mystery, but all we know is he wanted power, and he got in touch with one of the Dark Dionin. And the Dark Dionin promised to give him power in exchange for service. And what he wanted was a destruction of any rise to Anderism and the belief in Alanai again. Ah, okay. He's one of those losers who pretends to be bad just to get things started. Yeah, he's one of those losers. He's one of those. This Shugoki's one of those guys who plays bad deliberately at first, and then decides to beat you in the last 3 rounds just to be an asshole.
Yeah.
Gotta love him.
Do I have to?
Well, we'll continue in just a second. I gotta lock in to stand a chance. Yeah, something's fishy about this dude.
You got him.
You really shouldn't have, done that. Funny thing is, he might have beaten me if he'd taken me seriously from the offset, but no. He might have won if he'd taken me seriously from the offset, but no. I guess he learned. He left! Dude, you gotta imagine how much that sucks. Bro comes in cocky, like, oh, I'm not gonna try, I'm not gonna take you seriously until later, I'm not gonna take you seriously, I'm gonna beat you in all 3 last rounds. I end up winning. Silence! Just, wait. What? Alright, got 3 more matches of Duel to go. But anyway, we were talking about Daggeroth. So Daggeroth agrees to serve the Dark Gods, the Dark Dionin. And they give him a gift. They give him the Yatagara's Eye, which is a special eye. They replace one of his eyes with the eye. What does it do? Well, the realm of creation, the energy that Alanai created to create all things, is called the Etherium, or the Etheric Sea. And this is an alternate plane of existence where all forms of power come from. It's filled with the power that some call magic, if you will. Shinobi, fine. And it's filled with what you might call magic or powerful energies. And most sorcerers and mages and wizards draw power from it. Think like Psychers in 40k. They draw power from the warp in 40k. Well, here they draw power from the Ethereum. And they use this power to do magic. But the thing is, you can't see the Ethereum. So when you're trying to cast spells from the Ethereum, it's kind of like you don't know which direction the waves of the Ethereum are going. Is this a bot? It is a bot. Okay. Hold on. Thank you. So normally, witches and wizards and mages have a hard time using the power of the Ethereum because they could be trying to draw energy against the flow of it. Think of it like a giant sea. I think the best way to describe it is think of it as a frozen lake, right? A frozen lake has a lot of water churning underneath it, and you can't see which direction the water's flowing. And try moving water under that sea, under that frozen lake, without being able to see what the water's doing. It's very difficult. What the Yatagara's Eye allows you to do is view into that frozen lake, view the water, view the Ethereum, and see the movement of the power, so you don't exert as much energy to draw from it. If you draw magic out of the Ethereum when it's moving against the current, it's a lot harder and exerts a lot more energy. But when you know which way it's going, you can cast magic a lot easier, and the Yatagara's Eye allows you to know for sure which direction the magic is flowing, so you can draw from the energies of creation a lot easier. Hold on.
Victory.
And so as a result, Daggeroth having this Yatagara's Eye attached to his allows him to see into it very easily and perform supernatural feats the likes of which you've never seen. It increases his overall magical potential and allows him to do godly things. So Daggeroth reaches out to the Osmod Sultan, says, hey, I will help you conquer the Northern Realms, but in exchange, you got to help me spread the belief in this particular Dionin. And the Osmod Sultan, who doesn't really buy into this stuff anyway, goes, sure, yeah, you use your magic to help me win, I'll give you whatever you want. So they start marching their way north, and they start capturing and taking territory. Then this leads into the arrival of the Raven Lord, which, let's pick our next opponent. And in this situation, there was a small kingdom in the area that used to be Tigeria called Edenvale. Edenvale had a king and 3 children. An older son, a daughter, and a younger son. The younger son is the Raven Lord, but no one knows what his original name was. At the time, he was a very sickly child. He did not have much hope of a future. He was constantly bedridden. Many didn't think he was going to live. His sister was the only one in the family who really gave a shit about him. The father did care about him, but didn't see any potential in him as an heir. The older son was too busy getting ready to become the king. The younger son, who would become Raven Lord, is very fascinated with the outside world and often convinced his sister to take him out and see the world, right? So one day they're going out. He's a very young boy. He goes out and he sees the Osmod Sultanate, or emissaries from the Osmod Sultanate. Wow, playing a lot of samurai today. Emissaries of the Osmod Sultanate capturing mermaids and taking them for slavery. He doesn't understand what's going on. He doesn't understand that Edenvale has had to make alliances and trade agreements with the Osmod Sultanate to allow them to capture slaves in their territory. He doesn't understand this. He just knows that these mermaids don't want to be captured, so he saves them. He runs in and saves the mermaids by shoving the guard who's taken them over the ledge. Whoa. Got me. I was backed into a wall, not a lot I could do there. So, because of this, the Osmods want him dead. The king doesn't want to kill his own son, obviously, but he also doesn't want to upset the Osmod Sultanate, so he comes up with a compromise. He'll just banish his son into the Badlands, and the Wilds will eventually kill him itself. Hold on. Damn, he's good. So, Raven, the young boy, is thrown into the wilds and is unable to survive on his own, obviously. But Alanai has plans for this kid. So he sends one of his loyal Dianan to train him and to save him. All right, let's lock in. Let me lock in a second. Oh well, good fight. So anyway, this Dianan shows himself to him and shows himself as like this wandering knight. He takes the boy in and cures him of his sickness and trains the boy to fight, to survive, to look after himself, basically teaches the boy how to grow and become better, takes away his name and gives him the name Raven, for he was saved by a flock of ravens that showed him where to find some meat. So he renames himself Raven. And then after he's done enough training and he's learned enough, oh, my fault. After he's done enough training, he gives him the same gift that Dagroth had, the Yatagara's Eye. So he puts the name. So instead of replacing an eye with the Yatagara's, he puts the eye right into his forehead. The Raven Lord's name is Cliff Corbin. No, it is not. He was never given a name. Anyway, so he puts the eye into the middle of his forehead. That's why the OC avatar I have has a red eye in the middle of his forehead. And the eye does the exact same thing that Dagroth's does, but a little differently. Dagroth's eye is kind of cheating. He's replaced his own eye with a Yatagara's, which means he can't ever close it. He has to always keep it open. And the Yatagara's is constantly draining his life. It's constantly killing him, poisoning him, because the human body was not meant to view into the Ethereum the way it does. The Yatagara should only be used in desperate circumstances. So normally Raven keeps his eye covered or hidden, and that way he doesn't waste the power. All right, choosing Warmonger. That's fine. We'll do Warmonger. And so Raven Lord basically goes out and he begins allying himself with other races and kings and creatures outside. No, your name? My name is not Cliff Corbin. Who the hell told you my name is Cliff Corbin? That is not my name. Anyway, so as I was saying, he basically makes these alliances and groups to follow him, basically rallying centaurs, orcs, dwarves, elves, basically bringing them all into his fold. All right, let's fight this guy. Good move. Gotta watch this guy. He knows what he's doing. Good move. That was very well done. Yep, good fight. That was a good fight. In a minute, I'll let you be the one to tell the story of how he meets the Lark Lord, because that's a good story.
All right.
And you helped mostly write that.
Yep.
Good fight.
Victory.
I'm so confused over what the hell is going on here in chat. I don't know. I haven't really been paying attention. Me and Lark have just been trying to tell the story of our OC character, the Raven Lord.
Yep.
My guess is Jackson tried to take a guess at my real name and he missed.
I'm not sure if he was trying to take a guess at your name or the name of the character.
Well, he was wrong on both counts, either way.
Yep.
Got him.
Victory.
Cliff Corbin was Kenny's best guess, which is the name he decided to use in our story marquee. I only said it as a joke. I don't think you did.
Round
I'm going to press a big X to doubt on that one. I think you made that a serious guess, and you are wrong.
Stay here.
Good move. Man. I can't get this Shinobi to open up. Finally got me. All right. All right. By the way, when I asked Raven how long time we've been working the story for, we've been working on the story for years, man. I think it's been 2 or 3 years.
I think we started actually putting the bigger details to it about 2 years ago.
Crap, I thought that he'd fake it. Got him. The dragon defeats the snake. Anyway, so, as we were saying, so the Raven begins going around and rallying all these different groups to himself. And he wants their help to retake Edenvale, because Edenvale right now is owned by the Osmod Sultanate, and he wants to take back his hometown. But he knows that even with all he has, he's not going to be able to win. So eventually, he ends up asking Alanai for a sign. He says, Alanai, please tell me what to do. Where do I go? Who do I enlist? Oh, he wants a rematch. I'm done with my dual orders, but we'll do one more with him. We'll do one more, and then we'll move on. Anyway, so he asks Alanai, what do you want me to do? Like, who should I enlist to help me? Conqueror. Okay, we can do Conqueror. That's fine. And Alanai gives him a vision of the dragon empress, Phelan. And so, oh man, my flail needs to stop shaking. It's bothering me. It has a mind of its own.
Round 1.
Call my therapist. Tell him he's a rich man. Anyway, all right. Let me lock in real fast, and then we'll finish the story, because this guy wants a serious match. And he's honestly playing really well. Like, Shinobi's already a tough hero to fight in the first place. Oh, good catch. Ah, I should have waited. I should have waited it out. Ah, I thought he was going to go for the side dodge. Good fight. Anyway, so he has this vision of the Dragon Empress, and he doesn't know what it means, but he decides he'll seek out the Dragon Empress. Now, the dragons largely, they've traveled all over, but there is a Dragon Empress, basically the highest dragon of them all. She basically is the strongest and most powerful of their breed. And her name is Phelan. Okay, hold on. Why is he... Fight. Anyway, so the dragons have an interesting relationship with the other races. They consider themselves higher and more powerful than all the other races, but they don't like to get involved with other races' activity, so he doesn't know if they'll help him even if he goes to appeal to the Dragon Empress. But he'll give it a shot. So he goes to the dragons, and he discovers that there's a problem with the Dragon Empress. She's dying. This shouldn't be possible since dragons are effectively immortal. They can live as long as they damn well want to. So how is she dying? We don't know. Hold on. Sorry, I gotta lock in, because this guy's just playing really well. Ah, I should have dodged. Dodged too early. He's good. No, dodge too early again. Stay alive. Thank you. Oh, I got greedy. Oh, he got greedy. There we go. I was saved by the fact he got greedy. That was beautiful.
Round 4.
One more, and then we can tell. Because I hate that I keep getting distracted by gameplay and not being able to tell the story. He's trying to parry all of my unblockable heavy attempts. So maybe we can play into that? Yeah, he's... Got him. He didn't fall for that one. What is it with this guy? Anytime I go for the unblockable heavy, he knows to parry it, but anytime I don't, he knows not to. That's a little weird.
Round 5.
All right. We're going to get him. We're going to get him. Final round. We're going to get him. We're going to get him this time. We're going to get him.
Keep on! You can rest in your graves!
keep falling for that. I'm an idiot.
Victory.
We did it. Anyway, so he goes and finds out that the Dragon Empress is dying, and he doesn't know why. So he says, hey, tell you what, let me just at least meet her. Let me take a look at her. What's the worst that can happen? And they decide, all right, well, at least let you see her. So they take him to see the Dragon Empress. Let me pull out of this real fast. Okay. So they take him to see the Dragon Empress, and she is sick. She is dying, but no disease should affect the dragons. So he uses his Yatagara's eye to see what's going on, and he sees it's not a normal ailment. It is an ailment caused by ethereal power. So this is someone who has sorcery at their beck and call doing this. So he uses his own power to relieve her of the curse. He removes it using the power of his eye. Phelan is super pleased. She's like, thank you so much. And she assumes a human form. And she says, you've saved me. You've saved my life. Therefore, I owe you a debt. What is it you want? So he says, I want the dragon's help in retaking Edenvale and rebuilding Tigeria. And she goes, we don't normally involve ourselves in the stuff of humans, but because you saved me, we'll help you. So with the help of the dragons, the Dragon Empress, and all these other races and groups that he's pulled together, they go on to retake Edenvale in a glorious victory. And he starts rebuilding Edenvale, taking back all of the territory that used to be his. He reunites with his sister. His brother is long dead. His father is long dead. Everything seems to be coming up okay. But there's one other problem that's going on. This big victory in Edenvale and these subsequent victories that he's lauding up, the Osmond Sultanate starts to take notice. And they're like, someone is taking back territory that we thought we had. What's going on? And Daggeroth and the Osmods are like, okay, we may need to investigate this. Let's start moving our way up there. But before that happens, two things take place. The first is that Phelan, the Dragon Empress, has kind of gotten taken with the Raven Lord. She has fallen in love with him, and she no longer wants their partnership to end. She wants to actually join with him. She wants to actually marry him. And the Raven Lord, who likes her too, they get married. And so he marries the Dragon Empress, permanently merging the legacy of not only the next Tigerian Empire with the dragons, but also getting the Dragon Empress as a permanent ally. He no longer has to keep asking for favors. She is now his wife, so the dragons are always in his back pocket, if you know what I mean. So, the second thing is that he gains a follower and ally in the Lark Lord. And Lark, I'll let you tell that story, because you're the one who wrote that. So, I'll get this started. You tell that story.
Okay, so...
Get over here and tell that story.
All right. So, the Lark was essentially an alchemist slash artificer. And basically what happened is he would work for the highest bidder who could pay him the most moolah, as, it goes. Eventually he found one very, very wealthy duke who was willing to pay the big bucks for him. And says, like, hey, I have a special project I want you to work on. Could you do that for me? Lark comes in, assesses the stuff, says, yeah, sure, sounds good. I'll get to work on it. Gets to work on it, starts making some magnificent armor, some magnificent weapons, really putting his time, energy, and effort into it. Presents it to the Duke. The Duke is overjoyed and says, dude, I would really love it if you just stuck around and be like one of my personal guys. That would absolutely be wonderful. And, and he's like, I don't know, it was a good gig, but, there could be other offers. Like, I'll tell you what, we're going to have a banquet tonight. Why don't you, stick around, and we'll, sort of mold her over it a little bit. And he goes, you know what? That's fine. Lark goes to this banquet. He has he has an okay time. He's not one for mingling. However, he finds one sort of wallflower of a girl who he'd think he's absolutely smitten with. She's very intelligent, very charming, and he basically they have a great night. And he's like, he'd only gotten the first name though, and so we're going to call her Maria for the time being. And so he's just like, Maria, I'd really like to, take this relationship further. And it's like, I'm sorry, but this is the last you're going to see of me. You can't know who I am. And he's like, oh, nonsense. It'll be okay. Trust me. It's like, trust me, I can promise you whatever, if you're concerned about, me providing, I can do that. And he goes, that's not the issue. Just for both of our safeties, just leave it there. And he's like, he agrees at first, but his curiosity can help him, so he essentially starts putting feelers out, whatever, and finds out that is a daughter of the Duke. And so he's like, He goes back to the Duke and says, listen, I'm going to make a deal with you. I will work for you. I will be exclusively your go-to guy. I only ask for the hand of the marriage of Maria, your daughter. And he says, I don't have a daughter, Maria. It's like, yes, you do. I can confirm it. It's like, no, there is no. There is no Maria. It's like, I can assure you, I met one, and I can assure you, I met one at the ball. It's like, you did what? I'm like, yeah. It's like, she wore a mask at first, so I couldn't, but I could. But, you know, we hit it off. Don't know why you're hiding her. Turns out, Maria was, in fact, the daughter, but an illegitimate daughter that he'd been trying to hide, and he had been quite ashamed of, because, you know, it's, you know, a bit scandalous and all that. There's a difference between a bastard and a legitimized bastard, after all. And he keeps on pressing the issue after the Duke tells him to drop, and the Duke goes, I've had enough of this. And so he drags Maria out from where she was hiding, because it turns out she had basically been kept in hiding in the castle, only seldom allowed to go out, and had to be in disguise to do it, so it didn't bring shame. Because the one look at her face, and you realize, oh, we know exactly who the affair partner was. So he burns part of her face. You're like, you want her that badly. You're like, fine, you won't when I'm done with her. Burns the face, she's distraught. Lark loses it, attacks the Duke, but his guards, souped up with the armor Lark made, beat the crap out of him and kick him out of Edenvale. Not Edenvale, but his duchy. And he's livid, and he's starting to prepare to get revenge. At this point, the Raven Lord shows up. I forget this is before or after he's made an alliance with the dragons.
This is after, but nothing's been finalized yet. They haven't even been married yet.
Yeah, and so he goes over and it's like, hey, Lark, heard you were pretty good. I could really use something. He goes like, first of all, don't know you. Second of all, don't care. Third, I've ended up here with would-be nobles. I'm going on the warpath. Would you like help? This is something I gotta do on my own. Victory. Raven goes, sure, alright. Just let me know if you change your mind. So, Lark goes in, guns blazing. Metaphorically, he has not invented guns yet. A little too early in the setting for that kind of thing. But he goes in, he takes down several of the guards or whatever. But the Duke manages to put Lark down with his own personal set that, again, Lark crafted himself. And he's like, it really is ironic that, you know, you gave me the means of your own destruction. So, tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to burn your face just so you match that mistake of a daughter I have. And then I'm going to kill you both together. And then, before he can kill Lark, the Raven Lord steps in and stops it. And he goes, Lark, I would like to re-extend my offer, but I don't want to put you out. And Lark's like, you got a deal, pal. You get me out, you get me and Maria out of the situation. You got it sold. And he goes, done. And so he's like, are you not kidding? I just took out this artificer even after he because I have the best weapons, armor, and equipment. What are you going to do about that? He goes, Yutagaris I. Yutagaris what? And it's a cool fight scene, but he basically gets control alt deleted. And seeing that, Lark goes, all right, what are your demands? And the Raven Lord goes, I just want you to work for me. I will pay you well, treat you well. And he goes, you're not going to, force me into, some sort of, wicked contract? No. And he gives him very generous terms for his service, and he goes as long as me and Maria have, a place to set up shop and we can get married. Raven Lord's like, sweet, absolutely. And so Lark and Maria get married. Both of them now always carrying, when they're not in each other's company, they wear ornate face masks so that people don't gawk at their burns. But it's kind of something they've sort of bonded over because they've gone through the same experience. And Lark basically becomes for lack of a better term, the vizier or Shinasal to the Raven, not only acting as the main artificer and alchemist, but also as an advisor. And that's kind of where his story goes in. And occasionally he has to have the Raven Lord cool down after a few non-homicidals. But that's pretty much the story.
So now you know how he meets the Lark Lord, and the Lark is also rather fascinated by the Yutagaris I. He actually studies the Raven.
Well, yeah, that's because that was another reason why, he wasn't in a position really to say no, but there was also, from a not business, but from an academic perspective, he wanted to see it. Because he's dealt in the arcane mostly, not the celestial or righteous magic, so this was something.
But yeah, that's essentially the Lark Lord story. Now, as time goes on for the Raven Lord, he begins gaining a lot of traction and ground in retaking land and rebuilding the Tigerian Empire. And eventually, the Osmond Sultanate shows up and starts trying to take stuff back. And this leads to the reclamation of the land for Osmond. And Daggeroth actually has to meet the Raven. And both are very powerful sorcerers using their Yatagara's Eye. In fact, my buddy Jay drew a fantastic image of, hold on. Crap. But my buddy Jay drew a fantastic image of Daggeroth and Ravenlord dueling each other. Really cool image. It shows Daggeroth on the ground summoning up these massive snakes made of rock, flying up to attack Raven, who's flying in the air, and the Ravenlord calling down these massive swords or spears from heaven to smite the snakes. It's really, really cool picture. But maybe at the end of the stream before we go, I'll show you that image. It's really cool. Really, really awesome. But I do want y'all to see it. It's sick. But Daggeroth and Ravenlord both realize before this war with the Osmond Sultanate is over, one of us is going to have to die. Because there can't be two masters of the Yatagara's Eye fighting each other. And I think we'll pause the lore discussion there, because if we tell too much more, it's going to give away everything. But then again, at the same time, no one's going to read them if we were to post videos about them anyway.
I could also tell them about the lore of Valburnia, Tigeria's neighbor.
Well, we could get into that another time, but yeah, to be honest, a really cool idea that Lark and I have been playing with for a long time. And we've gone beyond the Ravenlord lore. Like, we've gone beyond, like, what happens after the Ravenlord, like, and his family die. Like, what happens when he's gone. What happens to the Tigerian Empire. That kind of thing. So we've had a lot of time to really think about what this looks like. So, been a really, really fun project. The problem is we know that most people don't give a shit. Most people don't care about it. Like, the videos that we've released going over it and going into deeper detail on it, no one watches them. That's why we don't make them anymore. Alright, hold on. I got to lock in. We lost that last round when we shouldn't have. Hey, Hannah. We were just talking about the Ravenlord lore. I killed him. I killed him dead. I need to get a shield. Oh, snap. Oh, that's cheating. Fine. Wait for it. Yeah. All my teammates were dead. There was nothing I could do in that situation. How far have you guys got? We just finished talking about how the Lark Lord met Raven and how that happened. We got into how Daggeroth and the Osmond Sultanate were moving into Tigerian territory. Or the dragons, the European kind or the Asian kind. Kind of a mix.
It depends on where you are, because one of the things that is notable about the dragons is you didn't mention the dragon sort of civil war.
No, I didn't talk about the Dragon Civil War because we were focusing more on the Ravenlord's lore specifically.
So a little bit larger stuff here. So what happened is when Al and I came back to connect with his creation, the first Daionin to come back and pledge fealty to him was the Daionin of Dragons. And he basically said, I will return to your side if you wish me to destroy my creation. I will happily do so. And he goes, no, all I ask is that you return to me. Your creatures will have my blessing. And so...
What the?
Okay.
It just glitched out and suddenly he got me. That was weird.
Weird. But he agrees. However, some of the dragons don't like the fact, they're like, well,
Good night, Nina. Sorry, go ahead.
it's like, some of the dragons are like, whoa, you don't, it's like, you don't, papa, you don't necessarily talk for all of us. We've been around here for generations. We've had our own children. Like, why do we gotta work with this guy? And he's like, young man, you're gonna learn your place. And so some dragons rebel. And this is basically because originally, not originally, but I had started to work this into the D&D setting, so I had to explain chromatic versus metallic dragons. And so, again, chromatic good, metallic good, chromatic bad. And so the chromatic dragons are the ones that remain loyal and have a more divine connection. The metallic one, the chromatic ones are the ones that are more savage and evil, and a lot of them have lost their divine connection.
Right, but anyway, that's essentially the Ravenlord lore. So whenever you see the chibi of little me with armor and a third eye, that's the Ravenlord. And funny enough, originally it was supposed to be like me. It was supposed to be like an OC of me. But then as we started building a lore around him and a lore around the character, it stopped being just me and just kind of turned into its own thing. So that's why Lark in the Ravenlord lore isn't my brother. He's just another character. We wanted to make them their own kind of thing, and I just kind of fell in love with the characters. So that is why we did that the way we did. But yeah, that's why. And I thought that I put that up there. And Hannah was actually a big part of that too. We've been trying to get Hannah to have a character who has a role in it, but we keep changing up how we approach that. The character's name was Beatrice, and we're still playing with how that works. But Jay has a character involved. He added a character for fun. Hannah has a character involved. Aaron, as far as I know, does not. Pirate Captain Aaron does not have one.
I'm assuming it would be a buck.
I assume so, but we haven't discussed that. What was your favorite part of making the lore so far? Oh god, like just having fun world building. One of the fun things about writing for me, particularly if it's fantasy or science fiction, is world building. It really is. It is just so fun creating a magic system, creating a theology, creating a background. It's just a lot of fun. It's just a lot of fun creating all this stuff. Creating the power of the Atagoras Eye was so fun for me. And I'll be honest, I'll give you guys full disclosure. I was very much inspired by the Navigators of Warhammer 40,000, because the Navigators of Warhammer 40,000 are mutants who have a third eye on their forehead that allows them to see into the warp and allows them to guide ships. And I said, what if you could give that to a sorcerer, but instead of just allowing them to see into the warp to guide ships, what if it allowed them to see the flow and ebb of magical energies to allow them to be stronger and more potent spellcasters? I thought that'd be a really cool idea, and so the Ravenlord kind of came from that. And the reason it's called the Atagoras Eye is because the Atagoras is a crow yokai in Japanese folklore that has a third eye, but it also has like 3 legs and something like that. I can't remember exactly, but the point is, it's supposed to be a crow that or raven that guides people. It's supposed to be a spectral guide, so I thought that'd be really cool. And Yatagoras just sounds like a really cool name. So
Yep.
Yeah, still working out the stuff for Beatrice. It's taking time, Rose. It's taking time. Due to the religious significance of Sumo, can the Shugo be thought of as a type of monk? No. But, as I was saying, I actually do think that adding your character was a lot of fun, Mark. That was very fun. I'm glad that you came up with what you did. That was very creative. Yeah. One of the big problems we had, though, was when we had the Raven marry the Dragon Empress, now that he has dragons on his side, the question had to be, well, how on earth does he lose then? You know, if you have dragons fighting for you, how do you lose? But that meant that we had to really explore what Osmod had at their disposal. And they've got a lot. Not only do they have a lot of dark creatures at their disposal and the power of, and the power of Daggeroth, but they also have very high technological skills, engineering, a lot of stuff in their pocket.
They have engineering, but they also deal with a big degree of bioalchemy, which is particularly nasty stuff. The problem with the Osmod Sultanate is not only were they tough customers to begin with, but Daggeroth really just got his stranglehold there and basically got to go full Fabius Bile, kind of do whatever the hell he wanted with them. And
Fabius Bile's a great
allegory. And by the time Osmod realizes what the heck's going on, he's kind of too deep to go in. And he's like, well, why do I care? It's working for me. But then there becomes a problem later on in the war when loses, and Daganroth is like, I don't need you.
Yeah, yeah. And he kind of does away with the Sultan. Semi taking over the Osmond Sultanate
It was
himself.
basically, it's just like, I'm in charge. You haven't been in charge in some time.
Literally. And yes, guys, I did enjoy the montage you made. That was really cool. I did like it.
It was good, my dude. But yeah, we're also trying to flesh out this world. Tigeria has obviously gotten more attention because that's where our OCs are located.
Crap. We're not doing well.
But like, there's several other countries that we are putting into interest into the war, and the question was raised, like, what are the dragons doing all this? Why? Like, the dragons are often, one, they're rare, and two, they go over and they that civil war between the dragons is still raging. And so one of their big things is they're constantly trying to find their lost brothers who are causing problems. And so typically it's just like, it's not that they don't want to help, it's that they're kind of busy. Or you may have a schmuck that takes the throne that isn't good. And so the dragons are like, we don't have to take over. It's actually one of the things we talked about for the descendants of the Raven. The males have the greater chance of gaining the Atagoras, whereas the females have a greater chance of gaining favorable dragons. And so it's kind of an interesting sort of thing.
1 second. I'm out of stamina against a polymommy. That's not a good thing. There we go. She's not playing hyper aggressively, is she? There we go. Anyway, Osmond is based on the Ottoman Empire, pretty much. Yeah.
It's a combination.
It was a combination, but that was the major one. We got to be honest.
For
with
the
that.
nomenclature, definitely.
Yeah.
But we like the direct analog for Osmond was not Osmond, but Bybars.
Also, Raven finished the full quest for Wuwa. Jingron is still my fave. Yeah, Jingron's cool. I like him. If I have some leftover rolls, I might try to get him when his banner comes out. But for now, I'm happy with what I got. Because I finally got her. By the way. I was going to tell you after this, but you're here. There we go. Now we're cooking with gas. Let me get a shield up. There we go. Anyway, I cannot tell you how long it took me to find a metal cover that Jennifer Saunders holding out for a hero. Oh, gotcha. If you got a Dead by Daylight, would you get Castlevania content for it? I already have. I've played Dead by Daylight, and I played and Dracula's one of my favorite characters in it. So yeah. Have you listened on the musical called Epic? Yes, of course you freaking got it. Yeah, Hannah, why do you always sound so upset when I get characters? Like, why do you always sound so upset?
She's jelly.
No, I don't know why. She always gets. Is she hoping I won't get a character and then she can rub it in my face?
Would Hannah do that?
Yes.
Yeah, that's checks out.
Damn. So Raven, question, what was the inspiration for most of the other nations in your world? Osmond seems Middle Eastern, but what about the others you mentioned? Oh, we have inspirations from Native Society, European, all kinds of stuff. Mostly we were basing around the races that would largely inhabit those lands.
Yeah, it depends. So you have Dwarengall, which is the eastern dwarves we were talking about. And you have the Leagues of Lothra, which are basically high elven city-states. You have Valencia, or previously Valburnia, which was largely elven, but now it's kind of more human-dominated in the modern setting. which is based off of Spain. Lagostia, like I was talking about earlier, that's where the lizard men come from. But you have a mix of multiple different African cultures in that area. But the king of Lagostia, or the royal family rather, they are basically like lycanthropic lizardmen. They can basically, they normally like human, but they can take on the mannerisms of the crocodiles to boost themselves in combat. It actually comes from Zambian folklore. There's Valheim, which is Scandinavian. There's Frisia, which is more sort of a Germanic style of culture. I'd have to pull up the map. There's one that's kind of more of a Greek Byzantine style feel. There's a Chinese equivalent, which is actually where you get sort of these monkey people as well. Centaurs and orcs are kind of nomadic. They kind of move from place to place, but they do exist. There are merfolk. They do exist. Lamia also come from more of a eastern fringe. I haven't gotten a lot of those countries ironed out.
Yeah. Raven, do you have to get a character from Withering Webs to unlock their story? No, you just got to play through the campaign. Hey Raven, good luck with your trials, and how do you feel about the armor sets? They're good. The Dwarves obviously the conquerors of the mountains. Some of them are. Call you aspiring authors out there, the best thing to take inspiration from, the thing is that inspires you. Correct. Overly Sarcastic Productions did a video on Bram Stoker's Dracula 9 years ago. Don't know if you'll react to it and see if it did better than the extra credits. I've seen it. It's good. It's way better than the extra credits one. I'm not going to react to it.
Yeah, the extra credits one.
Yeah, I already did my response to the extra credits one. Overly Sarcastic Productions did a Dracula vid, and it was fine. They did it fine. I'm not going to react to it because they really didn't do it any injustice. Not that I saw, anyway.
Yeah, I thought it was fun.
But, yeah, that's, there's more to the Ravenlord lore, but that's essentially, and for some of you who are saying, like, oh man, that'd be cool for a D&D campaign, we have used it as the background for our D&D campaigns. It's been very fun. You've done it with your group, we've done it in our group most of the time.
Yeah, I call it the Crusaders of Dawn. It's, we never truly finished it. We got pretty far in it, though. I actually want to, when we're done with Curse of Strahd, I kind of want to run you guys through it, unless you guys are hanging for something else. I know Hannah wants to do Neon Odyssey, but time permitting, and we gotta get materials on that, I would like to take you through Crusaders of Dawn, because I think this, like, no offense to my group, but I think you guys would pick it up.
Yeah, and honestly, while I do want to do Neon Odyssey, I think we got to do other stuff too besides just that, because I mean, I still kind of want to do try Rogue Trader, but we just need to adjust the rules.
Yeah, I'm actually going to talk with Forrest about that, trying to get like the Star Wars system in so that it will be a lot less of a headache. Because if any of you have ever actually played Rogue Trader, the TTRPG, you know that's a crunchy system. I don't know what the Brits are on, man.
Yeah, it's crazy. What I think of this saying Kenny and I came up with, didn't read it. Any theories why all Griffins are holding crosses? It's because they wanted to make Griffin just holding cross, but they didn't think about the reality that multiple people could be playing Griffin.
Yeah, it's also like, I remember they tried to say like, oh yes, all, it was like all Centurions are this one Centurion, and everyone's just like, we all agree that's it.
Yep. Extra credits looked at Dracula and said that's totally about sex and gender. I hope they stressed before reaching that far. Extra credits and I have a lot to disagree on. Can I come up with a saying to use in our story marquee? Only the gods are the true masters of magic. The mortals only borrow that power through their faith. Okay. So does using magic have any drawbacks in your world? Yes, there are plenty of drawbacks. Because magical energy comes from the Ethereum, it is not a power that mortals can see or understand. And think of it like trying to run your hand through a river that you can't see. And by reaching in and working with the water, you can make it very easy to get what you want out of the water. Trying to think of the best way to say it. Trying to think of the best way to say it. Okay. Try it like this. You want to fish with your hand in a river. You want to draw fish out of a river with your hand. You reach in and you try to grab fish and throw them out. Grabbing the fish and throwing it out is like using magic, right? So you're throwing your hand into this river to draw out the magic and use it, right? But the problem is you can't see the river. You're blind. So you could be going with the current and a fish just runs right into your hand and you throw it out super easy, no problem. Or you could be going against the river and your hand starts getting buffeted. Or the fish may struggle and you may have trouble drawing on it because you can't see the fish well enough to grab it. So you're basically fighting blind against a force you can barely see or understand. And you're trying to cast magic with it. So one day you could be trying to light a candle with magic fire and it just knocks the wind out of you because you're working against the current. Does that make sense? But then another time you could be trying to throw a massive fireball, but because you got the right current in the right way by luck, it was a lot easier to throw. So magic is almost a guessing game. Are you going to throw a very easy spell because you managed to figure it all out? Or are you going to struggle just casting a simple spell? It's a struggle to use magic. But with the Yatagara's Eye, which is what the Ravenlord and Daggeroth have, they have an advantage because the eye lets them see into the Ethereum. They're no longer fighting blind. They can see the flow of the current and therefore can much more easily move the magic they need to cast spells. The downside is the longer you use the Yatagara's Eye and the longer it stays open, the more it siphons your own life energy because mortals weren't meant to dwell in the realm of the Ethereum. So doing this for too long can be disastrous.
Round 5.
So that is essentially the lore there.
Yep.
Anyway, so does using magic have any drawbacks in your world? Yes. I enjoy rewatching your Ravenlord lore while I flesh out my world. Mine is basically a fantasy world with 1930s and 40s style technology, far less though. I doubt it will be as in depth as yours. I can dream though. Hey, you know, it takes time. It can take time.
And honestly, world building when it comes to is honestly a labor of love. Because me and Raven really enjoy going over this. I particularly enjoy working on a lot of the countrysides. Raven oftentimes has to work on the timeline aspect and also the fleshing out individual characters and stuff like that. So I basically start putting almost the Wikipedia page, whereas he puts the novel concept to life.
Yep.
You've got my
I'm going to try to pick up this guy. What are the magic limitations and are there schools of magic? There are no schools of magic because magic essentially works the same way.
Unless you mean, are there any institutions of magic? In which case, I don't think we've flushed that. It's not the institution I hate, it's the problem.
There, got him. That was rough. My friend and I finished our D&D session. I'm multi-classing for my half-elf fighter with rogue and wizard. Well, that's going to be rough if you're multi-classing from fighter into wizard and rogue at the same time. That's going to be rough.
Means you're going to have to be running Eldritch Knight and Arcane Trickster in order to make that function.
Yeah, but I'm not here to tell you how to do that. What's your opinion on Berserker's new execution? We opened with that. It's fine. We'll do a full grading on it later. Alright. Let's go ahead and get our Dominion matches out of the way. We'll do 2 or 3 and then we'll call it a night. Just that camera. There we go. But yeah, building a magic system was probably the most fun for me.
Yeah, which I'm glad you were willing to tackle because magic systems make my head hurt.
They can be rough, but I think that they can be fun.
Well,
too.
the thing is, we get boiled down to like soft magic versus hard magic and trying to work out all that stuff.
Anyway, are there clerics and paladins in this world, like people who can gain power through their faith? Well, that... Not in the same way. All magical power that you have is taken from the Ethereum because it is the realm of creation energy. You can worship the different Dianan and Alani, you can worship them, but they're not just going to give you magical power just because you worship them. You've got to tap into the Ethereum, and most people are scared to do that. That's why there are so few mages and magic users in the world, because they're afraid to tap into the Ethereum, which is very, very powerful.
The other thing to consider is this. Basically, all magic comes from the Ethereum. But you do have those that, for at least if you're running a D&D campaign, the logic behind it is paladins and clerics channel it through their faith in an Alani or whatever Diana is, helping them same idea with warlocks. Wizards are the ones ballsy enough to actually try and study it and do it on their own, which is why they're so squishy. There's also a weakness to it. Sorcerers, they have an inherent gift, but not as something strong as, say, something like the Utonicus.
Right. Is there any weird beings in your world? Well, yeah, because the Dianan created a lot of things, so there are various different fantasy races in this world. If you can change anything about one here, what would it be and which hero? I would change Warden to have a dodge attack, not a dodge bash, but a dodge attack. Bao Shin will not be defeated so easy.
Captured Zone C.
Oh, shit.
You captured Zone A. You lost Zone C. You lost Zone A.
This guy doesn't dodge much. We can use that.
Why is dodging a subroutine? It's not that complex. What?
I need to go retake A. Y'all have fun with that fight. I'm not going to feed his revenge. How do I have 6 kills? Am I that much of a demon monkey?
You captured Zone A.
Where do souls go? Those chosen by Alani go to him. He is the carrier of his chosen souls. Good move. You never want to get guard broken by a Yorm on that bridge.
You lost.
Are there other things outside of the universe, like other planets or realms? We haven't designed those.
In theory, there could be, but again, we don't have anything concrete.
You captured Zone C.
I did make one thing during the D&D campaign, but that was just to get one of my players' characters in. So yeah, I wouldn't consider that canon.
You captured Zone A.
Up, one of theirs quit. It was their Aramusha.
Aramusha.
Hang in there, Kyoshin. I'm on the way.
You lost Zone A.
Good move.
You captured Zone
We're hard at work fighting against the forces of evil.
I mean, it's a rough job, but somebody's got to do it.
Yep, obviously. We may close out the night by playing the Raven Lord that Geist built.
Yay! Oh, you. I thought you were about to get a group here.
Nope.
Oh, they're just gonna gank that guy.
Not a nice thing to do, but we'll take it.
Remember what we learned. Stick fatty. Ooh.
Good move there, Jurin. What's the preferred weapon of choice in the world you're making? They use all kinds of weapons. It's a pseudo medieval style fantasy world.
It also depends on the date and time period. Like, because if you go like to the original Tigerius, it's going to be like iron weapons with the occasional bit of bronze. If you go, but as you get to like the Raven Lord, the time of Raven Lord's coming out, you're looking at High Middle Ages. But then if you get to the Hawk's time, you're getting into the Industrial Revolution. Because yes, we do have stuff that's like that.
lost.
Says Yorm's put me against a wall. That sucked. Raven Lork, I'd rather have your world to play in rather than what Wizards of the Coast is cooking up. Yeah, that's...
If I had the funds and stuff, I would take Raven and a few other buddies, and we would actually like flesh out this and try and make it its own like D&D compendium setting or something like that.
You
Sort of
lost
like
Zone
Dragonlance
For real.
or Dark Sun.
How have all my other writing projects been going? Slow. I'm doing a few projects for Hannah that she's asked me to do in exchange for some of her art. I'm also trying to get Tempest Blade done, which I really do want to get published. So that's taking some time. But yeah, that's essentially what I'm working on. But they've been going slow. Work and YouTube stuff have been keeping me very busy. And not a lot of people read my written work, so it's been kind of frustrating. I also want to get done with the Tsubaki Legend, but again, very few people are actually reading that, so it's disheartening. I think the problem is so many people hate Arakure that... Hold on.
You lost Zone A.
Ah! Boy, that Yorm got lucky, I tell you what. Anyway.
When you get the chance, you should teleport and kick it in the head.
But yeah, that's what kind of stinks. I hate the fact that because Arakure is so hated, people don't even want to give like the legend itself a chance. Like, I've released several videos on Arakure, one about her heroes in history. I've gotten criticism about Arakure on that. I released her analysis video. I've got criticism about Arakure on that. I released her executions graded video. I've got criticism about Arakure on that. I'm like, I don't care if you don't like the hero, but you don't have to hate on my work because of the hero. And I know that people aren't watching the Legend because they don't care. How do I know this? Because there are people who've done this with a lot of my heroes. Like, I had a person say, yeah, I know you made a Hitakiri video, Legend, but I just hate Hitakiri, so I'm not going to watch it, you know? That kind of thing. It's like, because you don't like the hero, you're not going to... So if everyone hates Arakure, what's the point in writing this shit? They had to really work to kill me. I love it. I love when I'm such a threat, they actually all have to dogpile.
I mean, I would consider that a cop. But that's just me.
I love the... people are stingy, I guess. People are just cringe, I guess. It's one of the reasons why I have not worked on the Arakure Legend, because I'm like, if people hate the hero so much they don't want to watch the Legend, I just don't want to write the Legend. I've got other things I could work on, other things that people may want to see. Why would I waste my time and energy writing something no one's going to watch just because they hate a hero? Holy shit. We were winning very soundly, and now we're falling because this bot 3 Aramusha clocked me.
Yeah, it's wild. I hate it when that happens. It's like there are some bot 3s that are actually better than the average player. Like, if I see a bot 3 Black Friar or Aramusha, I know I'm in for a rough time.
Yep. Well, God knows that happened.
Enjoy the climb back.
I might just turn this around. There we go. There we go.
I activate my Uno reversal.
Now I just gotta hold out. I gotta hold this zone and not let them take it. If bot Aramusha comes back, no, that's Yorm. If bot Aramusha comes back here. Hatun, I need you to hold this. I need you to hold this zone. I need to go to C right now.
You lost Zone A.
Well, it's over. Oh well. Out of all the legends, which hero would you say is more bark than bite?
Defeat.
Yeah, we lost. We tried. Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, that's some real salt from that Yorm. Is it because you're the worst player on your team and you know it?
Likely.
Probably. Probably. Yeah, 17, 17, 13, 3. Yeah, okay. But I would say probably Tsubaki. She's not super strong. Oh, they all left. What a surprise.
I'm shocked, I tell you.
I'm
Shocked.
100% stunned.
Shook.
What a surprising upset. Why do so many people, especially foreigners, hate root beer? I don't really like root beer, Jackson.
Likely because it's not something they developed a palate for. If you've grown up with it, you kind of like it. It's kind of like the Australians in Vegemite.
I'm just hitting random. Alright, good night, Warmonger. We're probably not going to be on much longer anyway. Wonder how many people we've got on Twitch and YouTube. Let me see. For Twitch, it is 8, according to this. We got 8 viewers. And for YouTube, $30. All right, cool. 38 viewers. That's nice. That's kind of nice.
You're kind
I just don't care for root beer. How did we go from talking about our lore to root beer?
Stand clear.
Yeah.
I want to talk more about our stories and characters, man.
Yeah. Like, there's one of your DB characters actually is Zenzen.
Oh,
Sometimes.
Yeah, Talia Sky. Yeah. God,
So
what a fun
first,
character.
before you go into the lore, you gotta explain where Talia, or where you first brought up Talia.
You captured
The one
Zone
shot.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Remember that one shot I did, and I invited you in to experiment on it? And so you brought in the Centaur, and it was like, can I go Paladin? I was like, yeah, this should be a problem. I did not realize what a dangerous combination I just allowed you to do.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I was joining you. I think it was Forrest and Kenny? Forrest and Kyle.
Because remember, Kyle was trying to be that, like, super suave, devil-may-care pirate.
Didn't do it well either.
Well, yeah, it's because all of his characters are devil-may-care that don't do it well. Actually, there's like 1 or 2 exceptions.
Crap. Maybe she's just too predictable. But yeah, so we were doing a one-shot, and I wanted to introduce a character, and I had an idea for a Paladin Centaur. And because Centaurs in D&D have a charge ability where they can run at an opponent, and if they go, like, I think 20 or 30 feet while they do it, not only do they get extra damage on their on their melee attack, but they can follow up with a hoof strike, which does even more damage. And I found that I could do, like, a smite attack as a paladin, as a melee attack, as I charge them, and then after I landed, I then get to do a hoof attack, which, since hold on. God, I'm always on my own. I'm always on my own. Anyway, so we were in a conflict, and it was so funny because you thought that it was good. Who was the DM? Was it you?
I was the DM.
Yeah, I think you were the DM, but you thought this was going to be a tough conflict, and I just steamrolled through half of
Well, I
it.
had all these drow elite warriors, like, ready to rock and roll, and you were just like, charge, destroyed, pull back, charge, destroyed. And this is a guy who has played Paladin for a bit in Curse of Strahd. And dealing with multiple attackers at once is not something my character was good at. So the fact that you just crush, pull back, crush, like you were cycle charging in D&D. And I was like, yeah, that works. And then Forrest was a cleric, which didn't make things any better because he was only buzzsawing his way through stuff. And then there was Kyle.
And then there was Kyle.
And then there's Hagrid.
Right, need to go to C right now, get some points back on the board. Like I said, way too damn predictable. But so Talia was a character that I really enjoyed using, and then when we finally got to do D&D, like not just a one shot, but with the group, I wanted to try her out for real in a group, and she did really well there too. I really enjoyed playing her.
Yeah, it was good. I was curious to see how it worked because when we did the one shot, you guys were actually like a decent high level, whereas like you started out as level 1 on the Icefire Peaks. Which, if you're ever looking to get into D&D, Icefire Peaks is an excellent source. Very simplistic, not very long.
Probably one of the easiest startup D&D things you can do.
Yep. You gotta be careful though, because you could wind up in a situation where you one shot the BBEG. Yeah. When will just Nobushi on Nobushi violence? When the freaking anchors interrupted, good lord.
Yeah, I'm always on my own in these fights. It never fails.
Well, it was an interesting fight, and then boom.
But yeah, then so now in our current D&D campaign, it was actually funny. I started as a Lightborn cleric, Yuan Ti, or Yuan Tai, whichever it is, and it was fine, but there were two problems. The first was I was doing too well. It was Curse of Strahd, so most of the enemies you fight are going to be weak to radiant damage, and so since she's just a holy buzzsaw, it almost wasn't even fun in encounters because I was just blowing through everything, and that made it kind of boring. But two, I didn't really have much of a lore for her, so there wasn't much interaction I could do with the world at large. There just really wasn't much we could do. So that made it a little bit less engaging. So I wanted a new hero. Hold on. Oh, vengeance is sweet. As I was saying. Had to kill that Zert for earlier. There we go. And now I die. Anyway, but so I decided to change it up, and so I've changed it to my druid character, Briar Skyland. And God, I love her. She's fun. She's fun. She actually has one interaction with the world. She's not just able to body everything she comes across.
Well, she does turn into a giant snake.
I don't know why. Doing Giant Cobra was kind of fun. That was kind of fun. And it helped us out in one.
So you left being a snake so you could turn into a druid who could turn into a snake.
I can't.
Reject modernity. Return to snake.
Just like Fulgrim. Alright, I still have my Breach medic order. Let's knock that out and then we'll call it a night.
Give me your blankets.
Give me your blankets, brother! What is your opinion of Native American monsters such as the Skinwalker, Wendigo, Thunderbird, Wampus, Hondogs, or Highbind? I don't give a damn. That's not to be mean, I just don't really care about Native American monsters in the same way. They're interesting, but I don't know them all intimately to really have a high opinion. I haven't studied them that intimately. I took one class in college on Native American history, but that was about the extent of it. Alright, we gotta get the Raven Lord out. And I still haven't switched it back to Guy yet.
You gotta do that.
Well, I keep... When we end the stream, I close the game and I forget to do it. Is Talia part of the Raven Lord army? She might as well be. Talia is a paladin of Alanai, so yeah, she might as well be.
Well, the way we have it set, like at least from the D&D thing, she is like a couple centuries after them.
When did Kid Raven get in the stream? What?
Kid Raven?
Kid Raven? What are you talking about?
Who's Kid Raven?
I don't know what you're talking about.
You kidding me? Oh!
There's a roller coaster in Holiday World called the Thunderbird. I mean, the question, it's not that I don't care about Native American folklore and monsters, it's just, the question has nothing to do with anything we were talking about. It just has nothing to do with anything. It's kind of like, I don't know, forget it. Alright, I gotta heal my fellows, so anytime one of mine goes down, we'll try to save him. Raven when he goes kid voice. Oh, when I was doing the Sneck Fulgrim thing? Yeah. Hannah laughs in the background. Is Hannah even still here to laugh in the background? I haven't heard from her in a bit. Raven, what are some of your favorite manga? From Old Country Bumpkin to Master Swordsman is phenomenally good. One Piece has for a long time been one of my favorites, but I've slowly fallen out of favor with it lately. Not that I think it's bad, but I just don't like where it's been going. Let me think. What else? Ranma 1/2 is great. Spy Family's good. Like that one too. Ultramaniac's pretty good.
That's what else you're kind of looking for. A lot of stuff.
Yeah,
They're
they're
really looking for something a little bit more dark and action focused. Hellsing is definitely a good one. If you're looking for something that's comical, Spy Family I would definitely throw in there. Yeah, again. Hannah says, man, I just make Fulgrim better.
She does. That's not even a joke. She just.
Not he.
Give me your lamps, metal boy.
It's like I don't have any lamps.
What is that?
That's with my staff.
An orb is like a lamp.
It is an oven.
So how big is the Raven Lord's army? Pretty damn big, because he eventually rebuilds the Tigerian Empire in its totality.
So yeah, it's not army, it's armies, and that
He has several armies.
he gets, but again, it varies. Like starting out, he's got like a little war band with him. As he gets bigger, he gets armies. You know, it's like Bannerlord. You gotta start small. Make Actually, if we could make a Banner Lord mod for the Raven Lord's realm, awesome.
That would be cool. Porcupine Angron is cute. Yeah, he is. But he always just shows up to bite someone and then they scream. Oh! But, yeah, truth be told, what I wanted to do this stream, the reason I added that image to the thumbnail was I honestly wanted to just chat about the Ravenlord lore and about stories and about world building and stuff like that, because we don't get to talk about that often. I've been kind of in the mood to talk about it, so that's why I did that, and so I was honored to get to talk a little bit about that. That was what I wanted to do.
And I enjoy talking about it as well.
Yeah, that's why I wanted you here. I wanted to chat with you about it, because you added so much to the Ravenlord lore. You had so much to give.
I have.
I can't heal anyone because I keep getting ganked.
Once again, I hate Glenn.
I've got 12 kills, but I have not healed one person.
Suffering from success.
Raven, can the Legate create a flamethrower? Yes, undoubtedly.
That is one of the things he's made. We go full Greek fire in this.
I'd like to hear some more parts of the Ravenlord's world. Yeah, sometime, maybe when we do another stream, we can talk more about our ideas for countries and races and all that within the Ravenlord world. Because I'd love to talk about our ideas for the different races and cultures and countries. What started the Osmods? What's the difference between mermaids and elves and centaurs in this world as opposed to other stuff we've seen? Oh, there's someone to heal. There's someone to heal. I need to loot.
How often do the cat people show interest?
Lawbringer, keep her off me for just a second. I hate you, John Who. Getting her. Finally. Well, I say her, but it's a Shaolin, so. I just feel so lacking of immersion. There's only male Shaolin. Why can't there be women? There historically are female monks in Buddhism. There are. They have a female school. They have a female school of nuns. Not even kidding.
That's none of my business.
Well, I'm just making fun of the fact that people just bitch about the stupidest things. I might have to make a Legate Lord Centurion. Already have. So can all dragons take human forms? No, only the Empress can because she is the most powerful.
You gotta be pretty powerful to do
Well, when you mention different era that the world go through, what do you these look like as a visual idea of what they would look like? Think about like Iron Age into Steel Age, you know, like.
Yeah, in terms of like when you get to like the Tempest Blade, that's when you get into like the Industrial Revolution. I would say probably think Civil War era, where you're getting into percussion cap rifles. But it's still an area where if you're trained in even the slightest bit of magic and can finesse that into weapons, like you can be a hero, like the rest of the Silver Corps and Ethan Hawke.
Yeah. Best way, like, I genuinely, it's... Tempest Blade, if you know anything about that story, is supposed to take place in a future version of the Ravenlord's world. Like, when Tigeria is still around. Actually, if you look at it, the empire that Ethan Hawke fights for is called the Tigerian Empire.
It's really interesting because Ethan Hawke was the order.
Yep, Ethan Hawke got us kind of started. We wanted to build a lore from that. And we had fun. Alright, healing you again. Got it. That's 2. I need 1 more. I need 1 more heal, and then we're done. 1 more heal. It's just hard. Alright, they broke through, but it's fine. It's fine. You can still stop them.
The outer gate has
Ethan Hawke, Jackson. Yeah, my story Tempest played. One of the stories that I read, but like I said, no one listens to my stories. I was actually asked the other day if I'll ever bring back Raven's Writing Room, and I don't know if I will. It is... I hate to be that cynical of a guy, but I don't... With work being what it is, and me having a lot more demanding stuff in my life, I just can't afford to do stuff that no one's going to care for or watch. And so, like, I've got to dedicate time to what I can, to what I absolutely want to work on, and that I know others will want to see. Like, for example, the other day I released a montage video of, like, highlights. You want to know how bad that video did? You actually want to know how bad? It is the 9th lowest performing video besides Bible study videos. It got astronomically lower views than any other video I've released besides Bible study videos. That's how bad it was. And so I'm like, okay, lesson learned, no more montage videos. Just not worth it. Just not worth it. Ethan Hawke, the actor? No. Getting frustrated.
Kiruji what is the Targaryen Empire based on? Rome or something else? Originally, in its inception, it kind of fleshed out to be a sort of amalgamation of sort of Rome, Holy Rome kind of inspiration in terms of culture and like architectural style, with a bit of like think almost like the best analog I think you could probably is imagine Charlemagne's realm if it had never if it kind of reformed. And I know, like, that Holy Roman Empire is kind of that, yeah, but in a more concrete, complete setting.
Take that, dog!
So you're gonna have a little bit of German, a little Italian, a little French influence in there as well.
La Willy!
Ethan Hawke is a traitor, so the people claim. Yep, but there's more to the story.
There's always more. Wait, did TND roll into the bomb?
He did. How is Ethan Hawke a traitor? That's the story. He was considered a traitor because he killed his fellow soldiers in the battle. But there was a reason why he did. Problem is, no one cares about the reason because that's not what was spread around. Shaolin, I would have loved it if you just ran. And didn't develop an Austro-Hungarian... Oh, you're talking about the Holy Roman Empire.
Well, or whatever, yeah, which is why I wanted to focus more on the Carolingian aspect than the Holy Roman aspect.
Damn light parry. Oh, we just got to finish the match now because I got all my heals. So yeah, I had to play with bots because if I played with players, odds are good.
Players like they disappeared too quickly. Because that moment where like you were up by like their spawn zone and you were having to constantly fight back the bot and the pikeman, player would have disappeared within an nanosecond. Bots are on the program. If you're close by,
they'll wait it out. Yeah, so you got to take advantage of that. It's just the rule of it.
I feel like that should always do more damage.
I do too. I don't remember the whole story, but I remember that he was trying to protect a little girl. I don't remember her name, Aoife, but I know she was adorable. Yeah, Aoife. He's trying to take care of a girl named Aoife. She's a Lothari. And if you've been listening to us talking about the lore of Ravenlord, you know that the land of the elves was called the Leagues of Lothra. And that's where the name Lothari comes from, because they are Lotharian of the Leagues of Lothra. But at this point in time, the Leagues are no longer around, but they are still associated with the Leagues of Lothra.
Yeah, they kind of hit into a bit of societal decay, and they had an obligation with Tigeria, and they only partially fulfilled it, and when they were called out on it, they decided they had a group that decided they didn't need to work with Tigeria anymore, and this, of course, sparked a war, to which they lost.
Yep.
And now there's what's left of that group has formed a new group called Sarandinen, named after that guy Sarandal, who was the one who killed Empress Aurelian.
Yep. And Sarandinen in the Elven language means the soldiers of Saren. Or Sarandal in this case. Sarandal is his full name. Saren was his first name. And Sarandinen was such a good name.
Yeah, you came up with that name, and I geeked out over it because I thought it sounded so cool.
Yeah, it was a good name. It was a really good name.
Big fan of a name. What's in a name?
It's actually kind of sad because when you really understand the wider world of Ethan Hawke's world in the Tempest Blade, so much of the high fantasy stuff is gone now. Like, there are less races around, less small countries and leagues or anything, mostly just large countries that have kind of amalgamated the others. It's kind of sad, really.
It's
like a lot of, like, instead of just having centaurs, minotaurs, mermaids, and all these others being their own unique things, they're all just kind of all relegated to just the beast races.
Yeah, there's a great line from Dragon Age Inquisition where Morrigan talks about, like, I don't want this to be destroyed, because if you do, there's going to be one less wonder in the world, and wouldn't that be a shame?
Yeah, and that's kind of what's happened. I mean, it's part of the passage of time, but it does show. And after if you pay close attention to what they talk about in Ethan Hawke's world, like if you talk to any of the humans of Tigeria, they talk about how this isn't the world of the Raven, this isn't the world of the dragons, this is a new age where humanity and technology are the rulers, and it has to be this way. And there's kind of a melancholy to that.
Yeah, there's melancholy too. It's weird because on one hand, a lot of it was seen as almost necessary to progress and survive, because it wasn't like this was always a conscious choice. Sometimes they were pushed in that direction.
Yeah.
But there is something that is lost with that, and that's kind of seen within the conflict between the humans of Tigeria and the elves. There's actually one character in the story of Ethan Hawke, an elf who's actually ostracized because he's started to adopt more of the humans' view of technology.
Yeah, Pat Valarith.
Yep.
He's a Lothari who actually is hated by the other Lothari because he accepts more human technology. He carries guns, he carries firearms, and the Lothari hate that. They hate anything having to do with new human technology. And beast races are such an oddity in the Tigerian Empire now that you rarely see them. They're just called the beast races. Outside of Tigeria, they're a little bit more recognized and a little bit more common. But in Tigeria, it's kind of funny because Tigeria, under the Ravens' rule, was very much it was a haven. It was a melting pot. Races that were discriminated in other places would go to Tigeria to escape persecution. But as time went on, even the later rulers of Tigeria did not do what they should have done by these races. Raven would not be pleased with some of his descendants.
A few of them as well. I can think of 2 examples, but those are still in early development.
Yeah, not all of his descendants were good.
Yep. I think the first 2 generations after him were pretty solid, but after that, that's when it starts to, you have, it's a flick of the dice there.
Yeah, literally. How do you spell the name? The name of what? Sarandinen? Oh, it's, I hope one day Ethan's name gets cleared. Oh, you'll see.
Can't spoil that.
I don't want to spoil what happens to him. It's dark, but it's also really beautiful too at the same time. You gotta see it.
Just imagine some good Celtic music and you're there.
Oh, it's
Yeah, because there's what's the name of the band that does it, or the group rather?
I forget the name.
But like, there's like this
Brunhiville?
Brunhiville, I think, but like that does like some good Celtic music, like Spirit of the Wild and other stuff like that. That is kind of
Where's
like the soundtrack I almost imagine for like a lot of Ethan Hawke's fights, and just like the culture around it.
Ow. I need to go heal. The Lothari use magic with the same rules? Actually, no. The Lothari actually use rune magic. Basically, they use runes that tie to the Ethereum, which allow them to use magic from it. They kind of cheat a little bit. Instead of drawing magic directly from the Ethereum using their bodies and their movements and study, they use their language. They use the runes to infiltrate the Ethereum and draw from it.
The language in itself is so powerful and potent. It's like it's almost, think of it like Latin in a way, because like arcane, it's the art. A lot of times the arcane script, and they're so good with it. Just like speaking it, writing it, and inlaying it into metals provides magical necessity because it helps act as a channeling point.
Yep. Well, we won.
Huzzah! In 34 candles. Boom!
And we got the order done, it looks like. Awesome. All right, let's go ahead and change this while I'm thinking about it. Switch this back to Guy. Okay, there we go.
Can you make just another loadout that's just this exact thing, but female, so that we can...
We could. We just got to pick one to get rid of. Here,
Sure.
no. Here's what we got to do. We got to pick one. So Ruth, we can't do. We can't get rid of him. We could get rid of that one, but we'll see. I have no idea what I'm doing with this one.
That one might be the
That one might be the one. Can't get rid of Mara. That's the Raven Lord. Can't get rid of Ultor. That's Havoc's thing. And if we ever do another video with Havoc, I want to have it on hand. I don't know if we ever will. We can't get rid of Dad.
Get rid of Papa.
And I don't know who this one is either.
I like the look of it, though. Let's get rid of the purple one.
Okay, so here's what we do. What we do first is we copy the loadout. And then we pick one to paste it on. There.
I'll
Now,
make that one a chick.
now we'll make this one the female. There. Now we have a female and male.
So that way, in 21st century Tigeria, they can go, didn't you know that the Raven Lord was actually a chick?
I'm sure with his magic powers, he could turn himself into a chick.
He could just go, it was a joke and it was one time.
I'm sure that Phelan, his wife, would give him shit for it.
No, Hannah's character is the one that does it on accident. No, actually, I have to tell the story.
Okay, tell the story.
Okay, so we were doing D&D, and it was this world, and it was the Raven Lord's world. And so one of the things that my players had come across is they had come across one of Daggeroth's workshops, and in it there was this liquid that if you fell in it, you got cursed on a table. Because one of the things I had created was I created a feat called the Yatagara's Eye, because unbeknownst to one of my characters, he was a descendant of the Raven Lord. And so he was going to eventually activate it. But I said, you know what, since this is Daggeroth's workshop, this water is going to have the same effect. And when he fell in, I said, okay, you need to roll on, I forget which day was it, but you need to roll this die. He rolled it, and I looked at it, and the result was, you changed your sex. And so, the person who fell in was the wrong person for this to happen to, because this kind of thing freaks him out. So, he crawls out, it's like, so what happened to me? He's like, you notice there's a heavier weight on your chest? You don't feel as tall, your armor doesn't fit quite right. And then I just send a text to the other guys to explain what happened. They're like, dude, you got boobs. And he's like, what? Oh no, oh god.
That sounds like something Kenny and Kyle would say.
But they go, but thankfully they had the restoration spell to fix it. But it was like,
I don't like this.
But then their genius idea was, can we bottle this and use it as a weapon? And I was like, sure.
Sure.
Go ahead.
Let's use this as a weapon.
And they did. What actually happened is they were trying to get some information. They said we'll give you this really cool drug if you can do it. And I'm like, what drug? And the vial. I'm like, don't. They give it to this guy, this lizardman. He drinks it and becomes a freaking chaos spawn.
They should have thrown it at Strahd to see what would happen.
Well, this was after Strahd.
Oh.
Again, this was in our world.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
I did connect Strahd to this world, but at that point, Strahd had been dead. It was already dead.
Gotcha. No, I understand now.
Something worse had replaced him.
I get you.
The Dark Lord Farron.
It should be Hannah's character that should do the magic ninja swap version. Hannah's character, Beatrice, doesn't have magic, or at least that's not the plan. She's supposedly a knight, but we haven't worked out the details. Maybe she will. Maybe we'll make the joke that she's the one who did it.
Accidentally, it just hits in the back of the head with a chair.
Is your Crimson Warden related to or associated with your Crimson Warmonger? No, and again, this is why I'm sad that people don't watch my Legend videos. This Crimson Warmonger is a dragon who took on human form in the For Honor world. She is one of the last of the Wyverns. She is a story I wrote. She is the Wyvern who worked alongside Ramiel, the first Warden. The Crimson Warden here is supposed to be me. Geist Draken was trying to make a Warden version of me, and this is what he came up with, and I like the design. All right. Like 50% of guys, oh my god, I'm a girl. The other 50% of guys, damn, I got a nice ass. There are two sides. There are the kind that go, no. The other kind that go, am I hot?
Well, I was about to say, there's that caveat where it's just like you turned into a girl. Am I hot? Yes. Okay, not too bad. Or they go am I hot? No, I'm a girl.
Like, no, I don't want to be a girl anyway. Wait, am I hot? Yes. We can deal with this.
All right, boys. We're about to abuse this system.
I need to find a mirror, and I need to find its stat.
I need to hit the drive-through. We're about to get some free meals.
All right, now before I forget, let me go ahead and share with you guys Jay's image, because that image is so good. Let me find it first. Hold on one second. Let me pull it up, because it's buried in my files. It's definitely buried. 1 second. Once I find it, I will put it up on screen. Jay's images. Well, only one? Oh, this is from the other. Okay, hold on. Back up. Really? It only has that image saved? Hold on, let me go to his I'll bet I have it saved here. Okay. I'll bet I have it saved here. 1 second, guys. No, that's not it. 1 second. It's do. Let me try this. Oh, no, that's just Jay's image of his Raven Lord character, like who he made for the Raven Lord lore. Maybe it's on... Maybe he sent it via Discord. Let me check Discord real fast. He might have it on Instagram. If you want to check his Instagram, see if it's there. If you see it, I can pull it up here. Come on, load up.
Come on, Instagram.
All right, let's see. Damn, I cannot find it. Is it on his Instagram?
I'm looking through it. There's a lot of work.
We'll find it. We will find it. I know he's done it. It wasn't in the spot I thought it was. Okay, here's his Instagram. Let me pull this up. I'm sure he put it on Instagram. He puts all of his best stuff on Instagram. God, I forgot he did some of these. These are so good. He's such a good artist. If you haven't followed him on Instagram, it's the Artist J on Instagram. The Artist J. And the J is not a word, it's a letter. So just the Artist J, all one word with the letter at the end. Look it up. He is such a phenomenal artist. You won't be. It's so good. Here it is. Found it. Yes. I found it. Let's see if we can't save the image. Oh, I can't because it's Instagram. F. Here, let's do this. I got another idea. So what we'll do is I'll ask him to resend me the full PDF, not PDF, but PNG. And I'll just let you guys see it. One second, let me switch over the screen. Okay, so let me try to zoom in on this a bit. Ah, shoot. Hold on. Let me get back to it. Yeah, these are some of Jay's epic pieces. He's a professional comic artist, guys. He draws professional comics, so this guy is no joke. but this is the image. And what we have here is you can see a massive battlefield. And down here, let's scooch over. Down here, there's Daggeroth calling upon these great earthen serpents. Basically, these serpents made out of stone to burst out of the earth and fly at Raven, who is up here. There's Raven right there calling down these spears from heaven to smite the serpents. It's just such an epic image. It's an image from the very first battle between the Raven Lord. He says here, drawing it in from my friend Raven Knight, this is a battle between the Raven Lord and his enemy Daggeroth. The two are locked in epic battle. Daggeroth, bottom left, summons giant serpents, and Raven calls down giant spears that rain down from the sky. It's kind of tough to figure out what I was going to do with this one. There was a lot going on in the scene, so I had to figure out how to pull all that into one drawing, but I think it turned out pretty cool looking. And yeah, it did. It's really sick. I love the way this came out. This came out so good. What do you think, Lark?
Oh, I'm definitely a big fan of it.
Yeah, it looks so phenomenal. Jay's just so good. But yeah, just to show you guys, since we're talking about Jay, I might as well show you some of his work. He was a big Spawn fan, so he drew this for a Spawn challenge contest. Looked absolutely phenomenal. And this shows him going through it, like what he was doing. This is something he did for me when I was doing my Bible study series on David. He drew David versus Goliath. He drew Bruce Wayne as Batman, just sick. This is a song. This is for a song. No, his new book, Projections of the Innermost Mind, poems he wrote. He's actually a poet. Who would have thought? I like
a poet, and he knew it.
Let's see, what's another good one he did? This he drew Laura Croft.
Yeah, as well as he also like, I don't feel like I'm as good drawing women. And
Yeah. He says he's not good at drawing women. Are you kidding? He drew Gambit.
It's a great look.
Tales of Woe. Tales of Woe is his own original stories series that he's writing. It's kind of an anthology series, and he's had me proofread and help him edit them. They're really good, and this is one of his Tales of Woe, The Stranger Who Entered Town. Really good work. This is Teacher Claire. He drew that for me. Wolverine. Of course, Venom. This was he created a new character. So it's been a while since I've drawn original characters that's superhero or villain. Basically, I'm mainly just drawing stuff for my upcoming short stories or drawing prints of already established comic characters. But decided I want to get back to my roots, and the one thing I've always loved drawing is which is design original superpower characters. And he created Martha Merkel, otherwise known as the Living Mire. So really cool design here. Don't know who that is. Let's see. Oh, this is from one of his projects of Tales of Woe, the Beacon Tower. He actually asked me to proofread that one. I remember that. This is also from, and if you look, you can see a little nod to me. There's my emblem right there, and Hannah's emblem right next to it. So little nod to us there. So really good work. This is also from it. This, he actually asked me to write a short story about this character. That was a long time ago. This is Boalak from my Tales of Tomiki story. This is Boalak. Okay, let's see. What else? This is from Beacon Tower as well. Wolverine again. Okay, this is Agent Cookie from a story one of his friends is doing. I haven't read that story yet. He was creating a character and he wanted people to name him. I think this is also from Tales of Woe, I believe. This is definitely from one of his stories. That too. This is him drawing a character, like showing how he goes through the process. This is the finished image, Aftergrave. I don't know much about this one.
It's like a frost.
He did all the Ninja Turtles. I don't know anything about this one. Agent Cookie again. I don't know anything about that one. Don't know about that one either.
That was Spider-Man.
This one I know about. He was trying to make Christian-themed Japanese images because he is a Christian. And this one was really cool. I really like the way this came out. This was him trying to draw a Space Marine based on the Raven Lord. And I don't know how it came out. I like it. It was creative, but it was clear it was his first time. Another one of his Christian Japanese ones. Nomad, an image for Nomad. Love the way that came out.
Who's man? Nope.
Voltaire. Another one of the Christian Japanese bits. I like that. Batman. Solid Snake. I still need to do the video about you. I still need to do the video about you. Yeah, I think did he put both up there? No. Oh, this is his D&D character. His
Yes,
very
the
first
first
one.
one we did when we
This
joined
is
up.
Merrick Sky, 25-year-old human. He was a rogue, right?
He was a rogue.
He was a rogue, yeah. And
He was the epitome of I'm in the bushes, you can't find me.
dude, he was so good with his stealth
It's
plays.
just like, how come he always does? How come he never gets hurt? Because he's in the bushes sniping.
Yeah, he was and he did such a good job.
It's like, the trees are speaking. Hey,
He
Popeye.
made Popeye. There's another image of Valerie or Seraph X7, who I need to make a video about because she's a character he drew for me. Wolverine. Raider. This is where he gets into his For Honor art. He was the one who drew all of the For Honor art for me. Just look at these. Daredevil.
He dares to devil.
This was Agent Cookie again, but I can't remember what was happening in this scene.
She was getting cookies.
I guess. Batman again. What a good image of Batman there. What a good image.
Oh, that's not that.
Celestial Knight, this one. This was the image he did for Wextra. He did it for free. Wextra wanted to pay him, but because Wextra was a friend of mine, he did it for free. This is Wextra as a peacekeeper. Nobushi. Agent Cookie, and I don't know who that is. That is his new D&D character. That is Casser. He is a fighter, and his lore is sick. I love it. I don't know this one.
This one.
Looks like Sub-Zero and Scorpion. I don't know. Oh, this is from Beacon Tower again. Yeah, I like that. I love his stories.
Sanic.
Shugoki. That looks like Nemesis. He didn't show me this one before. Oh, dude, this one takes me back. He just drew this. And he asked me to make a story out of it. He asked me to make a story out of this. So for Christmas, I wrote him a story for this. But he doesn't mention it here. I don't know why. He needed to. Chickenator.
No. Let me tell you.
I love this.
Let me tell you something. Next time Kyle describes his instance with the Chickators and like how it was a rough situation, I'm gonna go, oh, did they look like this?
Those were the Chickenators. Oh God. Parables of the Set Apart, The Pursuit of Wisdom. I don't know anything about this. He didn't tell me about it. He drew Hiei, because he does like Yu Yu Hakusho. I don't know anything about this one. This was his redesign of the Tempest Blade. I don't know who this is either. This looks really good. There's his Warmonger art. Don't know anything about this one. I don't know anything about this one. I need to catch back up with some of his stuff. Looks good, though. That looks like it could be his Neon Odyssey character.
Maybe it is.
Maybe. Sohei.
Honestly, one of his best there.
Yeah, honestly, yeah. The Red Crow. I don't know anything about this. Freddie Mercury. Or Staccato Mamba.
I thought it was Freddie Mercury.
I could have been. His
Sure.
Jurin image. Why did I get tongue-tied? Afira. Black Prior.
Also a banger.
Arakure. He was commissioned by Homebrewed Comics to create my own version of Boulder from the Crit series. Like I said, dude is a professional comic artist. This dude is sick.
Yeah, you're gonna see that picture again.
Yeah, this looks sick. He also did Cyclops. It looks great. Superman's. That is his finished Warmonger art. Dude, I gotta give props to this guy. He's just so incredible.
Hannah says, dude, you're showing off all of his drawings. I'm so jealous.
Well, Hannah, would you like me to show off yours too? But you always get upset when I show your drawings. Whenever I show your drawings, you get very upset with me. But fine, I'll show your art. Hold on. Hold on 1 second. We'll find you. Let's show off your art. I remember Hannah saying that she drew this as part of a sort of monthly challenge. So I remember her doing that. Don't know who this is. But still looks good. I love this art. This is you creating Yulia. This was your first design of Yulia. You did another design of Yulia later, but I like this one. Yulia is a character she created for a Genshin story that she's having me work on with her. I don't know who this is.
That was lame.
No. I don't know who that is. I know it was a commission, but that's all I know. That is Roman Claire. Greek Empress Claire. So yeah. Oh, this is her okay, so this is Charlie. This is Charlie. So I created, well, I can't say I, me and Hannah
She
worked
says,
on it
no,
together.
it's the old stuff. Too bad.
Well, you asked. So Hannah and I worked on making, the raptors from Jurassic World, yeah, the 4 of them, Blue, Charlie, Delta, and Echo. Hannah wanted me to create a story where they're anthropomorphic characters living with Owen and all that, and we worked on it, and this was Charlie. So very, very cute. She did Venom. I really like how this came out, actually. I feel like she was doing this as a kind of a contest with Jay, I felt like. This is a Melusine. It's supposed to be Claire the Melusine, I think. It did not look like any of the Melusines from Genshin, but I still liked it. I still thought it was cute.
We can dig it.
Teddy Bear Claire.
She will kill you.
Teddy Bear Claire, yep. Like, I think I've used this before in some images, but I always thought it was cute. I like the big hand. I like the big paw hands. Catwoman Claire.
Nice.
Yep. That one was good. That one was good. If we do the Batman Arkham series again, we'll be using that as the image.
Heck yeah. Right.
Gator Girl Claire. I like how Hannah didn't just make me an anthropomorphic gator. She made me a little kid in a gator hoodie. That is...
It had to be done.
It had to be done. Okay, Fulgrim as a Genshin character. Yep.
It's perfect.
It looks perfect. That's perfect. That's Fulgrim if he were a chick in Genshin. I love it. I absolutely love it. I don't know anything about this. Looks like a dragon of some kind, but I don't know anything about it. And Hannah never showed this one to me. Dragon Claire. Nothing more to that. Alien Claire. Now Hannah updated this one later, but I still love the way this came out. Like, I still love the way this came out. It looks really sick. And it's not based on any specific alien design. She just ran with it. So, yeah, I like this one. Jagatai Khan as a Genshin character. Yeah, not even kidding. Looks good.
If you're wondering why all the Genshin characters are girls, it's because, well, it's Genshin. Even the men look like girls.
Mermaid character, but this one was a commission. It's not Claire. This is Hecate from one of her stories, Divine Warfare. She's the General of Envy, a General of Sin, so looks good. I always liked the design of this one. Lionel Johnson as a Genshin character. Now, Hannah and I have been working on a Withering Waves version of Lion, which I think... Hannah, can I show them the Withering Waves version? Can I show them the Withering Waves version? But I need your permission. I don't want to show it without your permission. But I like that. Angron. Angron was supposed to be a lolly, like one of the little versions. Because that's funny. Jagatai again. This was a commission for Brother Lord Cal the Loyalist, of his character as a sort of samurai Primarch sort of thing. Came out good. Horus. This is Horus Genshin version. Horus Lupercal.
Yes.
Came out great, by the way.
He says, yes, you can show the woo.
All right, we'll show that after we're done. Sanguinius as a Genshin character. Magnus as a Genshin character. This was... Okay, so in Genshin there are 2 characters, A and Zhongli, who are both archons of the respective regions, and me and Hannah kind of shipped them, and we wanted to know what their kid would look like. We had 2 different designs. Would she take more after her mother or her father? So we said, this is what she would look like if she took more after her father and dressed in more Chinese-style clothing, but had her hair designed like her mother's. But this is what she'd look like if she took more after her mother and was wearing more Japanese-style clothing, but had her hair more open and flowing like what her father might wear. So this was kind of the idea. Very cute design. This is funny and requires context. So, in Divine Warfare, the 4 Horsemen of the Apocalypse are characters, and one of them is Death. And I had the privilege of helping Hannah write the 4 Horsemen of the Apocalypse, like coming up with their personalities, because I wrote the Death Diary series and she was inspired by it, and Hannah wanted to kind of have the Death from the Death Diary series be Death, and she said, okay, what about the other 3 Horsemen? So I helped her design them. So in this, Hannah, or maybe it's not Hannah, maybe it's Marie, maybe it's one of the characters, but either way, Someone's coming to Death saying, "Hey, Death, you know you're how you're the oldest of the horsemen, like the oldest sibling." Yes. What's it like being the oldest sibling? Well, like war. I love war. I love war. I love war. Then pestilence. I just upgraded a new disease. Like just this facial expression, and then famine. Life sucks. Everything sucks. And then just it makes me wish I was an only child.
That final face of just all is despair.
All is despair and death. I freaking love this one. Let's see what's next. Okay, this was Flapper Claire, I believe. No, it was Magical Girl Claire. This was Hannah's design for if Claire was a magical girl. This is I don't remember. This was for Undertale, I think, but I never saw this image. Sailor Claire, because of course. I don't know why I'm a waterbender, but that's fine. I'll take it.
Aren't all sailors waterbenders?
This was okay. So this was from Welcome to Demon School Iruma-kun, and she wanted to draw her favorite character from it. Next up, this is a character from a friend's story. I don't know anything about it. I just remember her showing it to me. This was from that one show, High Guardian Spice. She wanted to redesign the characters, and what's so funny is she redesigned the character. Sorry, I skipped too soon. She redesigned the characters, and what's so funny is she hates High Guardian Spice, just like I do. We both hate it, but she wanted to redesign the characters in her own style because she thought that the designs could be made better. And what's hilarious is the creator of the show apparently reached out to say she liked her designs, and Hannah's like, I don't have the heart to tell you, I despise your show.
It's just like, yes, my design is better than yours. Take notes.
This is Fei Lin. This is the wife of the Raven Lord. Hannah designed her. I don't know if she's happy with the design. Maybe she wants to update it in the future, but this was the design of Fei Lin, the wife of the Raven Lord. So now you can actually see the Raven Lord's wife. This is Famine from Divine Warfare, one of the Horsemen of the Apocalypse. Hannah wanted to make her a girl because it was kind of a sausage fest. This is Egyptian Claire. Hannah drew this when Magi came out.
She's in denial.
This is actually not just any Lamia. This is Katie from Monster Club. I'm not happy with the design. We'll update it. This is again from High Guardian Spice. I actually do like this design. It looks great. Again from High Guardian Spice, the main character. I don't remember these characters. I don't remember these. I don't remember this one either. I remember Hannah showing it to me, but I don't remember anything about it. Okay, this is Auntie from Divine Warfare. She's the Antichrist. She has a role to play as well. Imagine if Hazbin Hotel was better written. Like, if you're dealing with cosmic, heavenly, and demonic forces, but it was just better written. That's Divine Warfare. Was this Kage? Or Cage? No, he's called Cage, even though it's spelled Kage. I could kill the dude who made him. Anyway,
Generals of Gluttony.
Yeah, the Generals of Gluttony. I don't remember this art. I remember the story, but I did not remember this art. And that is all we got there. And before we go, I will show Hannah's art of Lion.
Johnson.
Here, let's do it this way. It'll be a little bit easier. Image. Scroll. Wait. We're coming up on it. Yes! We made it. There it is. This is her version of Lionel Johnson and Wuthering Waves. And if that ain't good. Everyone give a round of applause to Hannah, because she spent days on this. She spent actual weeks on this art. But she wanted to make a splash page of Lionel Johnson if he were a new character added to Wuthering Waves. And one of the big writing projects she has me doing is to actually write an update of Wuthering Waves with Lion in it. Kind of like what they did with
Cyberpunk.
Yeah, sorry about that. With Cyberpunk, same thing, but if it's a crossover with Warhammer, and Lion is the new character added. And I have been working on that tirelessly. I've already gotten the first chapter done. So yeah, absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. But it looks so good. Looks so good. What would Withering Waves Lion be called? Oh, we still called Lion. My idea is, this is the idea that I have. When Lion is asleep on the rock, the Watchers in the Dark send him in the same way that Lucy was sent to Solaris by having him dream step into there. And this is where we first get the Mirror Caliban, because Mirror Caliban just kind of forms in Renacida and Lion emerges in it. He has no idea why he's here, but he knows that something's wrong. And the idea is that a Tzeentch demon tries to mess with Lion's head to try to corrupt him while he's here by convincing him to serve him. But of course, Lion isn't going to fall for that shit. But yeah, it looks absolutely tight. Looks absolutely tight. But yeah, Hannah does such good work. Hannah is awesome. She's an incredible artist, but she's also my best friend. So genuinely love her work. And I know that some of these pieces of art she's a little upset about. Because here's the thing about Hannah and Jay. Here's the difference. Jay will look back on his old art and go, oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah, I could probably do that better now. Hannah will look at her old art and go, I am burning it. You can show the character sheet. Oh, okay. Let me scroll through, see if I can find it.
Should we just a little further down?
Well, no, she wants me to show the character sheet, which she sent me sometime. Oh yeah, this is. This is a character that Hannah and I made, Chloe. She's a little goldfish girl. I love her. I love her to death. Okay, anyway, sorry about that. Okay, where is? I got to scroll way down. Oh, did Hannah read? No, I'm not gonna trust it. I'm just gonna keep going, because if I click on that, it's gonna. No, I got to show this now. Hannah drew Snake Fulgrim. Okay. Let's see. Oh, this is so cute. Okay, this is Yulia for her Genshin story, but with her ears wiggling. I love that. I love that. It's so cute. Oh, let's show it. This is Yulia. Isn't it adorable? Isn't it adorable? Everyone go Dawn. Everyone go Dawn. So cute. It's so cute. Anyway, next. We should be able to get to it now. Let's see. Oh yeah, this. Hannah drew an Angel Claire. That looks sick. I'm not gonna lie. I know that Hannah is not a fan of Dead by Daylight, and I know she hasn't seen the Judgment's design, but this looks like it could have been inspired by the Judgment, don't you think?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Anyway, moving on. Man, how far back was it? Oh, here it is. Here's the character sheet. I knew we'd find it eventually. This is her character sheet for Lionel Johnson. Can we get a zoom in on some of this? So this is how she was designing him. And in fact, she wanted to update his helmet a little bit to look more like it belongs in Withering. Mask appearing during Lion's Resonance Liberation. Shoulder armor. She didn't want him to wear his Primarch armor because she thought that wouldn't work as well in Withering. So she changed his armor a little bit. Belt buckle with Roman numeral to showcase he is the first son of the God Emperor. Yeah, and you can see it right there. Forearm gauntlet shows the colors that she used. The fealty blade, because his new sword is called fealty. Blade is transparent glass with electrical surge flowing through it, like a power sword. Tacet mark above his heart. This is freaking gold, y'all. This is freaking gold, y'all.
It is what the kids call Das Gut.
But yeah, just look at this. Just look at this. Hannah freaking owned it with this one.
She's Hannah, but yeah.
You're getting tired there, Lark.
Maybe.
But yeah, that just kicks so much ass, and she's drawn so much good stuff. This was let's see. Oh yeah, this is a fairy. This isn't Claire. This is another character, but she drew that for me, which was very nice of her. And I'm trying to find. There was another piece of art she did, and I wanted to share it if I can find it. But we got to scroll through because we send a lot of images and memes back and forth. Let me see. Let me see.
You know, they give you memes.
Memes. Well, it's so easy to share memes. It just is. You can just share gifs and memes and all that fun stuff. This is when she drew Arakure Claire, but that's not what I was looking for. Yeah, she just does such a good job. She just Hannah.
That she does.
I'm sure it's hidden here somewhere, and it's just buried deep in the stuff that we send back and forth. Come on. I wanted to show one more, but I'm struggling. We just send too many memes. For Hannah and me, it's
You
just...
don't send enough, actually.
Yeah, we probably need to send more. We just need to blow each other's DMs up with stupid memes and jokes and stuff.
Memes.
Come on, I know it's here. But we just send so many jokes. Yeah, that was her ideal for Yulia right there. I remember that. It's buried. Oh well, another time. We'll go into that another time. But anyway, I think that'll about do it because it is now 10 o'clock. We've gone way later than I wanted to. So anyway, thank you all for watching. Had a good time tonight. We'll see you in our next video. Tomorrow is Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know if we'll stream. Might not. It might not be for Honor. Might be something else. Well, why don't you look at the genie pick? Okay, that'll be the last thing we do. We'll look at the genie pick. Oh, thank you for resending it, Hannah. Genie pick. So Hannah drew Genie Claire. That actually looks really good. I love how the smoke coming out of the lamp is a braid. Like it gradually turns into a braid up to the hair. I really like that. I love this. I love the way she sits on it. That's really good. The pipe is clever. I like that too. Are those little like gold earring studs? That's kind of clever. I feel like the lamp needs like my emblem on it or something. It needs like Raven-esque stuff on it, but nah, I think it's good. Yeah, it looks good. Imagine that popping out of the lamp and just like, all right, what's your witch's bitch?
Already here.
I'm already here. All right. Anyway, thank you all so much. We'll let you know what we do tomorrow. Take care, guys. We'll see you then.